I don't know. What happened before? I just black out.
Welcome to WatchMojoUK, and today we're counting down our picks of 10 performances given by British actors on American TV that made big waves and grew a big fan base across the pond. Our focus is on the small screen performances here, and not in movies, but perhaps ended up there anyway.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Can I please come to see you?
I'll think about it.
Number 10. Matt Berry as Leslie Laszlo Cravensworth. What We Do in the Shadows.
Simon's HQ is this fantastic nightclub called the Sassy Cat Club in Manhattan.
Taika Waititi and Jermaine Clement's vampire comedy has quite an international feel already. The New Zealand film gave rise to a US TV sitcom with a British-led cast, all shot in Canada. However, arguably the biggest transatlantic impact was from English comedy writer, actor and musician Matt Berry.
What was that?
I said I'm sorry.
Couldn't quite hear that.
No, I couldn't hear it either.
I said I'm sorry.
With his eccentric intonations, crisp RP accent and classical persona, Berry seamlessly brought the undead Laszlo to life in such a way that made almost every scene a viral sensation.
My darling, Bran and Toby are brothers with a keen eye on interior decor. They turn the most mundane property from shabby to chic.
Clement wrote What We Do in the Shadows with Berry in mind, having worked with him on An Evening with Beverly Lough Lynn and appreciating the actor's almost Victorian vibes. Since then, Berry's US credits have continued to grow, almost as fast as his fan base.
You really are the most devious bastard in New York City.
Number 9. Jonathan Bailey as Anthony Bridgerton. Bridgerton.
Miss Edwina, might I have your first note?
Certainly, my lord.
It's easy to forget that Bridgerton, despite its green and pleasant lands, is an American TV show with an international audience. Set in an alternative version of London's Regency period, pretty much every actor within the show could potentially qualify for this list. But there is one who has really blown up across the pond, Jonathan Bailey.
If your silence is an indication you are reconsidering your declaration,
Is
my
that
lord,
what you want for me to reconsider?
it does not matter what I want.
I do not think that is true.
With the second season storyline focused on his character Anthony, audiences around the world were astounded with the actor's charismatic performance, seamlessly oozing a sombre yet tender charm. It wouldn't be long before Shondaland had to loan Bailey to Hollywoodland via the Emerald City for 2024's Wicked movie adaptation, and then onto Jurassic World.
Survival is a long shot.
Number 8. Tandy Way Newton as Maeve Millay, Westworld.
I'd rather earn a woman's affection than pay for it.
You're always paying for it, darling. The difference is our costs are fixed and posted right there on the door.
Imagine being an actress and told that you're playing a robot. Oh dear. But with Westworld, adapted from Michael Crichton's 1973 movie, the robots end up being the most human characters. The British actress was already lauded for her movie work in 2004's Crash and 2000's Mission Impossible 2, but for American audiences, she somewhat disappeared for a while. However, Newton's return to the small screen as Maeve Millay, ostensibly Westworld's madam, and later the self-aware mother who rebels against the autonomy, was hugely successful.
I thought I was crazy. But I got shot. Here.
There's no wound?
No, but I was shot. And this was standing over me.
Not to mention, also extremely popular and critically acclaimed. Newton received a ton of nominations for various accolades because of her nuanced and intimate portrayal of Maeve, bagging 2 Critics' Choice Awards and a Primetime Emmy.
Last but not least, what was it? Bulk apperception. Let's take that all the way to the top.
Number 7. Tom Ellis as Lucifer Morningstar. Lucifer.
A sandwich? believe this is the part where you tell me it's much more than just a sandwich.
Thanks to Hollywood, the best TV and movie villains have British accents. As far as baddies go, they don't get more evil than Satan himself. Yet thanks to Tom Ellis's portrayal of Lucifer Morningstar in the very loose adaptation of the Sandman graphic novel's character, the devil is in the detail.
Why would you release Azrael's blade into the world?
The Welsh actor gives a very eclectic performance as the fallen angel. He's either laissez-faire and wicked, or subtle and understated, and sometimes in consecutive scenes.
Hello, Richard Simmons. Sorry I'm late. Where's the knife?
Who's this tense man?
Although the show's divergence from the source material divided some comic book fans, Ellis's performance was consistently praised, making him a star in America and more so in the UK.
See? Just another screwed up patient, and you can treat me as such.
All right.
Number 6. Jodie Comer as Oksana Astenkova, aka Villanelle, killing Eve. You may think we've lost the plot, as surely Killing Eve is a British institution. Well, yes, it is. The TV adaptation of Luke Jennings' Codename Villanelle compilation was produced in the UK. However, it was commissioned by BBC America for international release.
No.
Oh, yes.
No.
No.
No?
Thus, US audiences were introduced to Jodie Comer, cast from the 100 actresses that auditioned for the role of the eccentric Russian assassin. The character of Villanelle is cold, calculating, and somehow also extremely funny.
Don't do that. I should never have entered.
Elton John isn't going anywhere.
This is farewell tour.
Watch it on YouTube.
Certainly no femme fatale, not an easy gig, but Comer nails it, with her accent switching as quickly as the plot twists, and everyone was surprised to hear her natural Scouse tones. For her breakthrough portrayal of Villanelle, Comer won a British Academy Television Award and a Primetime Emmy.
Where are you going? I'm done with you.
Number 5. Ella Purnell as Lucy McLean, Fallout.
If you don't mind, I'm gonna keep things civil.
The last few years have been good for English actress Ella Purnell. Whilst supporting roles in films garnered some attention, it was the risky move to streaming television that has brought her to the forefront for international audiences. There was a lot of raised eyebrows upon the announcement that Fallout was getting its own TV adaptation. After all, there's not that many video games that have transitioned from game to small screen quite so successfully. However, her turn as plucky but naive Vault 33 dweller Lucy McLean added to the myriad successes of the show.
So what's your sperm count?
On this side of the pond, Purnell used her newfound star power to pursue more personal TV endeavours, such as Sweet Pea.
I've got a scoop for you. It's a murder.
Wasn't expecting that.
Number 4. Damian Lewis as Nicholas Brody, Homeland.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I'm not really too good at making speeches. My wife does most of the talking in the family.
With British actor Damian Lewis, where do we start? A performance as Laertes in Hamlet convinced Steven Spielberg to cast him as Major Richard Winters in 2001's universally acclaimed miniseries Band of Brothers.
Take the Eagle's Nest.
Whilst that was within an ensemble cast, Lewis was already on the up. A few years later, he wowed as Charlie Cruz Jr. on LBC's Life, but the show was hampered with writer's strikes and schedule changes. However, his turn as former POW turned congressman, with its multitude of layers, for the first 3 series of Homeland really turned heads.
I'm completely off the grid here, aren't I?
Why'd the torture stop?
I don't know.
Blurring the lines between enemy and friend, the character of Brody was so immaculate that many fans lamented his departure and still believed he was American.
I'm working for the CIA.
The CIA.
Yep.
Number 3. Freddie Highmore as Norman Bates, Bates Hotel.
Lock and bolt the front door!
Welcome to my world, Juno.
As a child actor, Freddie Highmore amassed an impressive body of work in film. Had he decided that enough was enough before adulthood, he'd have still achieved more than most actors would dream. Unlike many of his contemporaries, however, Highmore wasn't done, making a move from family-friendly Hollywood movies to decidedly darker US television.
I can't get it out of my head. It's so awful. Mostly because I'm afraid it's true. And I need to tell someone. And I trust you more than anyone, but it might make you hate me.
Moreover, he'd aim high, taking on one of pop culture's most celebrated mother's boys, Norman Bates. The show was a gamble. Hitchcock's movie adaptation of Psycho is iconic enough to be left alone, especially sans Bernard Herrmann violin strikes. But the prequel series that overtook the original storyline was so critically acclaimed across all 5 seasons, and Highmore's performance cemented his status as a bankable, mature actor in America.
No, I don't think you're crazy.
Okay, listen, it's your job to make me feel better, not worse. Okay, she told me that you would do this. She told me that.
Wait, Norman, please,
Let me out.
Stay with me.
Let me out! Let me out! Hey! Help! Help! Somebody help!
Number 2. Andrew Lincoln as Rick Grimes, The Walking Dead.
I woke up today in the hospital. Came home, that's all I know.
Most Brits will remember Andrew Lincoln's dialogue-less scene from Love Actually. In fact, most Americans probably don't realise it's Rick Grimes holding the cards whenever screen grabs of the doorstep scene are shared as memes. Casting the fresh-faced Brit Lincoln as the deputy for The Walking Dead was an unusual choice, but it certainly paid off.
Tell me. Make me understand.
I owe a debt to a man I met and his little boy, Lori. If they hadn't taken me in, I'd have died.
Using classic performances like Gary Cooper's 1952 High Noon as inspiration, Lincoln's interpretation of Grimes was an instant hit with fans, and most stateside still hadn't clocked he wasn't one of theirs. When it was, controversially, time to leave the show, Lincoln had gained such a following that he would be shortly brought back to front a spin-off standalone series, The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live.
But maybe you could call me Dad.
I knew you'd come back.
Number 1. Hugh Laurie as Dr. Gregory House, House MD.
Your reputation won't last if you don't do your job. The clinic is part of your job. I want you to do your job.
But as the philosopher Jagger once said, you can't always get what you want.
Is it possible that Brits were even more surprised by Hugh Laurie's explosion onto the American TV scene than our cousins over the Atlantic? After all, for decades, British audiences were more used to seeing Laurie in comedic roles, remembered for his partnership with Stephen Fry, or as the foppish variations of George in Blackadder.
Now, look here, you just stop that Conchi talk right now, Private. It's absurd, it's Bolshevism, and it wouldn't work anyway.
Why not, sir?
But as stunned as we were impressed, American audiences were mostly introduced to the British actor as the now iconic Dr. Gregory House.
What happened? Paramedics took a week to respond to your 911 call?
You're not a very nice doctor, are you?
And you are very bad at whatever it is you do.
You don't even know me.
I know you're gonna get fired. That's why you got the new glasses. That's why your teeth are sparkly white. You're getting the most of your health insurance while you still can.
Laurie, as House, is a sardonic, petulant, maverick yet brilliant Vicodin-dependent medical derivative of Sherlock Holmes, and a far cry from the upper-class twit of old. He quickly gained cult and then mainstream status, and Laurie entered American TV royalty.
The operation is in 2 hours, and I'd like you to be there with me.
No.
What? Why?
Because if you die, I'm alone.
Are there any homegrown actors you hope to see make it big around the world? Sound off in the comments.
I almost forgot. What's the name of the movie that I'm going to be in?
The latest Star Wars movie. You've heard of the Star Wars, I take it?
Yes, Jane. Even I've heard of Star Wars.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojoUK and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.